This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
What is going on, YouTube Nation, the Fantasy Football Show Nation? We just had Brett become our 4,600 subscriber. Number 4600. Now we have 4601, 4602. But Brett's been peeping over in the corner on Instagram for God knows how long. And he didn't subscribe yet, but we got Brett to subscribe to the show. What's up, JP? What's up, Daryl? What is going on, Goat? Let me put your comments on screen. Rich, Nick, got my draft tomorrow, my man. Let us know what you need. Royal, we're mocking right now, Royal. Nick and Elijah, hit the thumbs up. Look at you flooding the thumbs up on your way in the door. And Instagram, if you're not over on smitty1.com, how are you going to mock draft? I mean, I like you over here. I don't want my numbers to go from, 20 to 12 like they just did. But at the same time, you got to be over on smitty1.com if you want to mock draft. Smitty drinking some, absolutely. Still waiting for Coca-Cola to call with the sponsorship deal. I only drink it all the time. What's up? Mark Cleveland in the house. Dried Ocean in the hizzy. Wipe your feet at the door, said Dried Ocean. 17 of you in the room. So far, hit the thumbs up. Make it a 17 and 17, please. 18 in the room. Make it an 18 and 18. Over to YouTube, says Alex. Mock draft time, says Damon. And, yeah, it's that time. It is time to mock draft, Sunny boys. And we're doing it live. Okay, let me share my screen and drop the link. Like you guys know, look at that, 4,600. It's beautiful. That was not refreshed. We had like 4,200 or something like that now. Fantastic. Okay, let's share said screen. Move graphics around a little bit. Excuse me. And get going. All right. HeySmitty.com is where you can find me. You want to vote me for your draft? HeySmitty.com is where you go. And let me just tell you, I've done several drafts, like countless drafts already. And some of the coolest drafts that I've done have been outside the box, like crazy draft strategies where I helped a guy, if you're in here, shout it out, but I helped a guy draft wide receiver. And I absolutely love his team. I don't think I've drafted a team with somebody on my HeySmitty.com that I loved more than that draft that we pulled off. We drafted in at like pick 7, I think. And it was Mike Thomas, might have been pick 6. Mike Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins in the second round, Mike Evans in the third round, and he started freaking out. And it's like, whoa. And and he got, after that, he landed, for running back 1, he landed Jonathan Taylor. Then he didn't get his second running back. He went A.J. Brown. Then he got Kareem Hunt and Mostert and Tom Brady and I think Waller. So it was a freaking lit team. All right. Brett, 2 PPR, Chark, Odell, Mecole Hardman, start 2. I mean, dude, you can't start Hardman yet. Not over those 2 guys. Rob says, get some rest, bro. You look tired. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Lorenzo just subbed. Thank you, Lorenzo. I love the people that tell me to get off the show, Noah does that once in a while. He's like, oh no, Noah does that sometimes, I think. But Brissett's dad does that. Our follower, Brissett's dad. He'll tell me, hey, Smitty, go to sleep. Get off. Go get some rest. Why are you telling me to leave? Tell me to leave my own show. Smitty, end of the month, I'm going to drop some nice donos for you. Thank you, Damon. I will appreciate those. I always appreciate it. Keeps the lights on. Studio being built right behind these walls. This brick wall right here. This is where I actually exactly from about 4 feet that way to several feet this way. This is actually my wall where I will be facing my computer. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Thanks, Rob. Okay. On to the mock draft. I need to zoom in a little bit and drop this sucker down. And then I'm going to drop the link. Okay. Let me just see 1 second. You guys read that okay? All right, I think we're good. I could probably kill this side thing here. And we'll go like that. Okay, I'm dropping the link. Here we go. In 5. Instagram, you're not going to be able to draft. 5, YouTube. 4, YouTube. 3, 2, 1. And it's a 5 to 10 second delay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we're full. Nope. Why are you jumping around? Let somebody grab that spot, bro. There, Denver. Okay. We're back. All right. Snake, who are you taking at 12? Bro, it depends on who's left. I've been toying around with the wide receiver idea. So, okay. Let's do it. Let's start the bad boy. 3, 2, 1. Begin draft. Begin the draft. JP on the clock at the 1.1. Royal on the clock, or on deck at the 1.2. Barkley goes 1.1. To my main man, JP. Royal, who we're going to turn into the Fantasy Football Show member. He lurks around other communities, but I promise you, Royal, by the end of this year, this will be your said home. You will say, hey, I love other people, but I'm the Fantasy Football Show diehard. Royal, we're going to get you. We're going to get you. JP's going to grab a Coke. Okay, McCaffrey 2, Elliott 3, Alvin Kamara 4, Clyde, Mother freaking Edwards-Helaire at 1.5. I love it. I'm okay with that. I ain't mad at you. Dalvin Cook at 1.6. Now Ramos is on. Will he take Mike Thomas? Will he take... pretty much it's Mike Thomas for most anybody. I've toyed around with other players all offseason long, but I'm kind of intrigued by the Mike Thomas Hopkins route now from that 6-7 spot. I really like Hopkins and Mike Thomas there. But Dalvin Cook went, Derrick Henry went, then Mike Thomas went to Gramps, and Denver took Josh Jacobs. Now Dinosaur's up. He takes Nicky Chubb, and Chicken is on the clock. I'm on deck. I took the 12 spot to mix things up for a change. All right, so Chicken's on the clock. Chicken takes Devontae Adams. That leaves me with Sanders, Julio, Drake, Eckler, Tyreek Hill. Let's see. Wide receiver. Oh. Let's see. Tyreek Hill. I'm going Tyreek Hill, and I'm on the clock. I'm going to try this route. I normally go running back here. but I'm going to go wide receiver, running back, because the whole point of me doing this is to show you guys 100 different ways. You know, I'm not here to draft the same team over and over. I'm not here to take Drake and Eckler every single time from the 1.12. What else are you going to be able to do with my content if you can't freaking... What's up, Augie? Yeah, I love the Mahomes stack, bro. Hamburger in the house. Augie with the super $9.99. Thank you, Augie. Just cause you helped me win leagues last year. Also, I know you don't like Mixon, but at 3.1 is that good value? Absolutely. Augie, if not just to trade him, I would jump all over Mixon at 3.1. Just to trade him. So thank you for the super chat, young man. I appreciate you. I don't have a super chat. I can't give you anything positive for your super chat because I haven't programmed that in yet, but I do have this for you.
Take a lap.
How is that not good? I mean, shit. Okay. Dynasty League draft tomorrow. My keepers are A.J. Brown, Miles Sanders, Carson. I have the second pick, hoping to grab Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You would be lucky to get Clyde, bro. Go get him. Go get Clydey boy. Imagine Clyde. Adding Clyde to your already existing keeper league. What's up, Lees? Fantasy hour. Do I sleep? Not a whole lot. Apparently, a couple of my followers have said I look like shit today. So I need to get sleep. I've also got horrible lighting in here. It makes me look pale as hell. Because I'm in my temporary studio for the next couple weeks. I hope less than a couple weeks, but I'm kind of thinking 2, 3, 4 weeks I might be right here. As my studio is built behind thy wall. Got a cobweb on me. I haven't sat in this corner of the house in a while. Okay, so after my Austin Eckler pick, it went Drake, Hopkins, Miles Sanders, Julio, Joe Mixon, Godwin, Mahomes, Golladay, Kelsey, Kittle, Evans, and now JP is on the clock. Starting off with Barkley and Evans, you gotta love it. Smitty, do I need running backs rolling with Eckler, Fournette, Snell, Love, and Damian Harris? I mean, who are your wide receivers? Who are your wide receivers? Because that will definitely determine my answer. I don't really know, depending on how stacked you are at wide receiver. What's up, Noah? What's up, Joe? Joseph? Augie.
Take a lap.
Still appreciate you, Augie. I had to do that again. I'm gonna see if my mute button works. Hello. Hello. All right, 48 of you in the hizzy. Only 22 have hit that thumb up. Punch it. Punch it. Adams. Oh, here's what you have. Adams, AJ, DK. I mean, okay, so you have, what was your run? You said you have, let's drag both your comments on screen here. You have Eckler, Fournette, Snell. Okay, so Adams, AJ, DK. I mean, what are you going to do? You could trade Keenan Allen and Fournette for like a big time running back. That's what I'd do. I'd get rid of Keenan Allen, you know, while he's got a lot of value. For sure. Thank you for the thumbs up, people. Augie's laughing. Augie likes taking laps. I just finished a $100 league draft. The rest will be DFS. Attaboy, captain. Brandon, my $500 PPR league drafts tomorrow, 11th pick, grabbing 2 out of Chubb, Jacobs, Miles Sanders, Drake. Decisions. I easily go Jacobs and Eckler from that group. I think Miles Sanders has. Okay, so new thing I'm going to be doing in the studio. I'll reveal exactly what I'm doing later. but essentially I'm going to coin a new way to analyze something. And it's going to be a new phrase. You hear it elsewhere. You make sure to drop a comment that this started here and this is a Smitty thing. People take shit all the time. I get arguments all the time with analysts that say that people can't be injury prone. The injury prone is not real. I had a whole big old debate on this on my YouTube show. Chicken, you son of a bee. You son of a bee. Taking AJ Brown. Now I'm on the clock. Damn you. Damn you, chicken. I'm taking Jonathan Taylor here. Now I'm on the clock again. Mostert, Hunt, wide receivers, Thielen, DJ Moore, Cooper. Nine seconds. It's a little early, but I like it. It's a little early, but I like it. What do you guys think of that? I like it. I'm okay with it. No problem, Brandon. Oh, so what was I saying? Brandon, I'm not done commenting. So, there we go. I am coining a new analysis process, a new tagging, if you will. Thank you, Captain. Sorry, Brandon. I got a super chat. I got to stick right over your face. Spock dropping the 5 spot. Damn you, chicken. Taking AJ Brown. Spock knows what I'm talking about. Spock, I don't have any positive. I could probably install it here now, but I'm going to have to give you a take a lap for your super chat. I'm sure you don't mind.
Take a lap.
Thank you, Spock. But, Brandon, here's the thing. I'm coining, you got injury prone, right? I'm coining disappointment prone. And it's not just like some funny thing that I'm throwing out there. This is going to be a serious way to evaluate moving forward, I think, in my community. Noah got Hunt in the 7th round. Noah, that's freaking insane. You highway robbery suspect. Injury prone, disappointment prone, breakout prone. You can be prone to a breakout, but disappointment prone is a new thing here on the Fantasy Football Show. I am going to start categorizing people and tagging them with a disappointing prone rating. And when you make a draft selection, you have to ask yourself when everything's equal, because Brandon, tell me if I'm wrong. You're torn here, right? So is it safe to say, cheers to you, Brandon? Just feel like he's toasting me right now. I'm talking to him, Brandon. He's very patient with his cup up. He's like, I believe I'm correct here in saying, I don't think I'm speaking for you or putting words in your mouth. You are torn because you're asking the question. When all things are equal, Brandon, tell me what player has disappointing prone, a higher disappointing prone rating. Now, you don't know my rating yet, but in general, I think Jacobs doesn't. I think Jacobs is safe. I think if Jacobs gets hurt, that's the only thing that can really get in his way. And yeah, he injured the shoulder last year, but for the most part, I think Jacobs, he comes out of college, very, very little use. You could say that's why he got hurt. That's a bad thing. You could argue that. I wouldn't think you're crazy arguing that. But for the most part, Jacobs has very little injury risk. He has very little competitive usage. You know, he's going to get screwed out of carries risk. His coaching staff loves him. There is very little risk around Jacobs. Eckler also has very little disappointment risk rating value because he's done it for a while. He did it without Melvin Gordon to an extreme degree last year. Melvin Gordon's not there anymore. Your only red flag is he hasn't carried the ball as much as he probably will in 2020. That's like, I hate when people say that Eckler's in for a decline. How? He's going to get more carries. They probably won't overwork him. They're not going to go from 600 yards is what I think Eckler's biggest season ever is, like 500 or 600 yards, whatever it is. He might go to like 800, 900 yards. He's not going to rush for 1,500 yards. If he could rush for 1,000. But Eckler's safe. His disappointing prone rating from me is going to be low. Same with Jacobs. Miles Sanders is like all the way up here. You're drafting him at 9, 10, 12, 11. That's crazy. There's no way I'm drafting Miles Sanders that high. 9, 10, 11, 12. Eckler and Jacobs are very worthy of it. Now Drake, you can tell I'm being honest here, because I'll tell you, Drake has a higher disappointing rating, potential. He could be potentially more disappointing than Jacobs and Eckler, in my opinion. He has more upside. Oh, I'm on the clock. Why didn't you tell me? Oh, I'm going to time out. I'm going to time out. I'm on the clock again. God, there's nothing. You guys are snipers, man. We'll go with Deshaun. Okay. I like that team. I'm okay with my team. I don't love my team. I don't love the 12 spot. But that's a competitive team. I'm not going to put myself in the top 3, though. Not with that team. Is Jonathan Taylor the next 2,000-yard running back, says Maddie. I think that's a tall order, bro. But get it over to smitty1.com. Okay. Done with IG. IG people need to come over here. Where was I at? At least tracking stuff pretty quickly. Oh, Brandon, he's still on screen. Brandon. So, Drake, if you like to roll dice, Chubb and Drake are probably the highest risk with probably the highest upside of the risky guys. But I'm going Eckler and I'm going Jacobs if I'm in this situation. It's a $500 league. This is not your grandma's $100 league. This is literally your $500 buddy bash league where you've got some serious cash on the line, a lot of trash talk and some pressure. Eckler and Jacobs are going to be your safety nets, in my opinion. I'm taking Jacobs and Eckler. If one is gone, I'll go Chubb. You get full credit when I win. I don't need the credit. I just want you to make a good decision that you feel comfortable with and you like the guys. If you don't like Chubb or Jacobs or Eckler, don't draft them, because I said draft them because I pushed you over the fence. You were on the fence about it. If you get Chubb, try and get Hunt. If your league's crafty, he might go in the freaking 4th round, though. Try and get him in the 5th. If you could land Chubb and Eckler or Chubb and Drake and still get Hunt without spending your top 4 picks on him, then I like that a lot. I'm on board with Chubb in that scenario. Smitty, I'm torn. Do I trade Taylor for Hunt to cuff him with Chubb? Please answer. PPR. Do I trade Taylor for Hunt to cuff him? No. No, you don't. Not in a dynasty. In a redraft, it's something to consider, but I still don't. I play the odds. I trade Chubb or just ride, I don't trade a piece like Taylor that could be really, really good. Can I rate the teams? Yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Lucas, should I trade Eckler for Mike Thomas if I already have Drake and Mixon? I mean, yes, but can you trade Mixon? Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and rate the teams. I will rate the teams right now. Aaron Rodgers, not a bad value. I mean, I think everyone's picking quarterbacks because they want to fill out their teams, but Rodgers could be had later. In our group, maybe not. In our group, we grab guys so quick. Look at Tom Brady at 6.7. Like, you're gonna find him in the 8th and 9th round in a lot of drafts. Smitty, I got to pick. Then I'll review the teams. Don't forget to ask me a question again. Maybe I'll drag it on the screen. Smitty, I got Allen Cook. I'm going to answer that question in a minute. I'm going to make it small, and I'm going to come back to it. I'm on the clock, I believe. I like Gibson here. Debo. I'm going Gibson. There we go. Okay. I'm going to tell you whether you're in the top 5 or not. JP has Barkley, Evans, Lamar. God, Lamar fell. I didn't even see you take Lamar at that pick. I think I turned away, talked about something. Saquon, Mike Evans, Lamar. It's filthy. Filthy. Andrews, Kareem Hunt, Diggs, and Cam Akers. That's top, I'd say top 3 team. But I'm always going to rate JP's team like in the top 3 or 5 because he's drafting very, very, very dead on with what I would draft. JP is very the fantasy football show oriented. McCaffrey, Kittle, Aaron Jones, Cooper, Terry McLaurin, Swift, Hurst. I don't love Cooper at 4.11 is not bad value though. I like that more than I would in like the 3rd or something. Aaron Jones, you're not taking him in the 2nd, so you're kind of making that. If you got Dylan too, you'd be on. If everything worked out with Aaron Jones, you'd be in the mix for top 5, no question about it. So it's all going to rely on Aaron Jones for you. So I'm going to put you right around the 5 to 7 range because I don't know that Aaron Jones is for sure going to drop it like it's hot in 2020. I have a feeling he's not only going to get screwed, his disappointment-prone rating is going to be probably one of the higher ones in the top 25 overall players. Top 30. Maybe top 36 overall players, you could say. Top 30 to 36. He'd probably have one of the highest disappointing prone ratings for running backs because people are expecting the world, and I think he could completely drop the ball for you. And it's not all of his fault. Elliott, Kelsey, A-Rob, Keenan Allen, Montgomery, Singletary, Josh Allen. I think you're missing something. If you got it in a trade, you sold high on somebody, I think you'd be in the mix, but you just need something else from that team. I think if you had landed just like a different, I have some doubts about Montgomery. I have some doubts about Singletary. Not that I think they're not talented enough. Then, A-Rob and Keenan Allen, they could potentially be really good or mediocre or disappointing a little bit. I love Elliott and Travis Kelce. Couldn't have started off better. I'm just not huge fans of all those players right there. Alex, Kamara, Galladay, Beckham Jr., Hollywood Brown, Lev Bell, Gronk, Breeze. This would have looked like a top 4 lock a week or 2 ago, but with all the Bell news and the Bell drama, I don't know if we can rank Bell as high anymore. I'm glad we're mock drafting now, and I'm glad I'm seeing Bell, differently before some of you, do your last few drafts because we can talk about it. But I think Bell's he's probably one of the biggest potentially disappointment-prone players because you have not only he's getting older, his usage is totally up in the air. His coach is a moron. And his contract's so big, it's hard to fathom a team trading for him mid-season like some people hope. There's a lot of reasons to doubt Bell, and it wouldn't all be his fault. So this team right here, I'm going to leave it out of my top 5, but I mean, I do like it. It's a good squad, but too many other squads I think are just a little bit better. Clyde, Mahomey, I love the stack. Connor, if you had Connor or you had just Thielen, I'd like one of those guys, but putting them together as your third and fourth player, I don't really like that too much. I think there's a lot of they need to over-deliver. Connor, everybody's jumping on. I like Connor enough. Again, if you'd gone like Chark or Amari Cooper or DJ Moore or somebody like that, DK Metcalf, and you probably could get DK Metcalf there without question. You're drafting in the fantasy football show draft. I took DK early. You probably would get him there. If you could put DK in place of Thielen, I'd put you in the top 5. So just something to think about for your upcoming drafts. Like I don't know if I pair Connor and Thielen, like risky guys like that together. I would take a stab at one, then go safe the other pick. Cook, Godwin, Melvin Gordon, Chark, Waller, Brady, Nick, top 4, top 3, something like that. Very good. Henry, Mixon, Juju, Cup, Lockett, A-Rod. I'm going to say outside the top 6, but one or two things happen. If Mixon is a top 5 running back, you're in it. You're in it, bro. But I have my doubts. Graham says Thomas, Julio, Carson, Gurley, Ingram, J.K., Wentz. Interesting. Not in my top 5, but much of that's going to, of course, depend on Chris Carson and Gurley, 2 running backs I'm telling you to stay clear from in 2020 at their values. Chris Carson is a third rounder. No, thank you. Jacobs, Sanders, Woods, DJ Moore, Mostert, Russell Wilson. Could be a sleeper team. Outside my top 5, but could be a team that, Mostert's top 10 running back, you're doing really well. Nick Chubb, Hopkins, David Johnson. Don't like David Johnson. You know that. Ridley I like, but that seems a tad high, but we're in our community here. We're going to have to take guys high because people are drafting perfectly in all of our eyes, right? Kyler Murray, Ronald Jones, he's falling out of favor in terms of, I hear he's dropping a lot. There's worry about him staying healthy. I'm kind of not on board with Ronald Jones anymore. I'd rather have Keyshawn Vaughn in a big league and stash him and wait. But Kyler, I love. Ridley, I like a lot. Hopkins and Chubb, that's really good, man. If you could somehow get Hunt, that would be a lit team. Chicken. Why can't it? Why doesn't it work? I'm clicking on it. There we go. Adams, Drake, A.J. Brown, Fournette in the 4th is good value. Dak, Sutton, I'd say top 6 team right there. And then Hill, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, DK, Devontae Parker, Watson, Gibson. I'm not in my top 3. I usually put myself in the top 3. I notoriously love my own teams. But I'm going to say I'm not in the top 3 here. But I do like this team. I think it's crafty. I think it score a lot, but I don't know that I could put myself in the best group, the top 3, but I'd say definitely the top half. And I'd probably be making some trades. I'd land a lot of sleepers. I'd hope like a Gibson would get in there and I could trade Gibson and Parker for one better player, or trade Taylor and Parker, or Taylor and Gibson. I would be making trades with this team. But the 12 spot's hard. I think you have a disadvantage when you're drafting over at the 1 over here. Look at all the talent. No offense, JP, but JP's killed the 12 spot too, though. So it's not like JP can't draft from the 12 spot. Not knocking you at all, JP, but it's really hard to screw this draft slot up. Barkley, look at the options he has. Mike Evans, Lamar Jackson. I mean, that's just Andrews, Kareem Hunt. I mean, you have so many good options at those picks. I love the 1.1. But people ask me, Smitty, what pick should I pick? It's always the 1 pick. If you can't get the 1 pick and the 2's available, it's always the 2 pick. If you can't get the 2 pick and the 3's available, it's the 3 pick, so forth, all the way down to about 6 or 7 overall. Then at that range, at like 7, 8, I may like 12 more than 9, 12 more than 10. But it's pretty much 1 through 7, without question. Um, Sorry, time to address some of your questions. How do you guys deal with draft nerves? Says Ronaldo. Ronaldo, here's what I would tell you, Ronaldo, because this is like some people might be like, "Oh, I don't get nervous," or blah blah blah. But the truth is, dude, you're right. You're right. Um, a lot of people get nervous. A lot of people change up what they're doing. I think is more so what a lot of people might um, consider the freak out of the nerves is that they come in with a plan and then on the clock they make the wrong decision. They just freak out about who's left. Ronaldo, your home base, you're coming back to home base after every pick, just like in tennis, where you go out to hit a ball, but then you come back to what they call home base, where you're right in the middle of the court. You're back a few feet from the outline, and you're just sitting there with your racket at home base, ready to readjust for wherever the ball is going to go, because this is the prime location, right at the serve line in the middle of the court or a little bit back. Your home base should be come back after you make a draft selection. So you're up on the clock at 1.7. Mike Thomas is the best player available. Okay, you take Mike Thomas, baby steps, you take Mike Thomas and back up. And then decide when you're on the clock again in the second round, who's the best player available. You start looking at everything from who you already have, who's that guy have, how many running backs are left. You've got to account for a lot of that. But at the same time, James is back. You got to go best player available. James, why don't you just ask the question? Because right here, there's so many questions in here, I'm going to miss it. You had an opportunity to ask it. If you just posted the question here, I might have saw it. So post it. Oh man. Okay, one more mock draft. One more mock draft. And Ian, sorry. Ian says, Smitty, I got Josh Allen, Dalvin Cook, Jacobs, Taylor, Allen, Robinson, DJ Charko, Waller, also Kareem Hunt. That's awesome, man. I guess you just wanted to tell me that, and I put your comment there like it was something I had to look at later. Please explain why you don't like Thielen. Well, I mean, I think it's obvious, bro. Like he's vanished. Is he going to return to form now that Diggs is gone and Stefanski's gone? They still are going to run pretty much the same offense, even though Stefanski's not there and he's now in Cleveland, which is a dialed back pass attack. But for the most part, I think I would say I don't hate him. I just am not going to draft him as my third drafted player. I think until he proves himself, that's a high risk territory. He has to deliver to get your value back. Do I like Thielen? Could I draft Thielen if he crossed a certain line in territory? Absolutely. But am I taking him as my third player? No, I'm not going to. It's not that I hate him. I just think that's a pretty easy call to not do it as your third drafted player. Okay, let's get back to the draft. We'll go start a new mock. I'm going to take let's see. I'll take the 5. I haven't taken the 5 in a while. Copy said link. Drop it like it's hot. Gordon, can you rate my draft? Thank you for the super, Gordon. Gordon, I don't have any positive sound effects for you other than this one, which I think is glorious anyway.
Take a lap.
So, Gordon, thank you for the super chat, young man. I appreciate you. Okay. Don't draft a kicker at all, James. That's my answer to you. I don't even see James. I don't know. I don't see your question. But anyways, Gordon. Gorton. Can you rate my draft 12 team 0.5 PPR QB Allen, Kamara, Jacobs, Drake, Hunt, wide receivers Juju, DK, Chark. Fantastic team, man. I mean, you have your first round top 5 overall pick running back. You have a guy that I think still belongs in the top 8 to 12 overall in Jacobs. You have a guy that I believe is 10 to or 9, even 9, 10 to 14 overall in Drake. DK Metcalf, DJ Chark are two of my favorite wide receivers that can be wide receiver ones, even if low end. Juju could still be a wide receiver one, and you got him at value. Clearly, that he could disappoint a little bit, and you still get your value back. Fantastic team. I take that into war any day of the week. And thank you for the super chat, young man. James, I'm just curious. I'm going to go look for your question real quick. Smitty, can you help me, please? Trying to figure out why you like guys. Trying to figure out why you like this guy so much. Oh, sorry. That's James. Which guy, James? Me? That's the wrong James, though. I was looking for a different question. Where did I draft a kicker? Is that really your question, James Devlin? You're wasting your question on a kicker? Don't draft a kicker. Draft a kicker in the last pick. But I'm more interested if James is talking about me. Or is he talking about a running back? How do you join the mock draft? Okay. Smitty, do you read fan DMs? Yes, I do on Instagram, as many as I can. As you can imagine, especially when we get near the football season, I can't get to everything. That's why you got to subscribe to the sleeperu.com, which is right here. sleeperu.com, where I have email advice as well in that package. And that is where you can find me on demand. Okay, here comes the link. Who wants in? Who wants in? We've got how many people? 72 in the room. Hit the thumbs up. 72 in the room, like 39 thumbs up. Let's see that. Let's punch that up to 50, and then I'll punch the link in. 50 thumbs up, and then I drop the link. I'm not about numbers. It's more about YouTube's algorithm and showing that this, show is doing well. Let's see here. Then they crank it out to more people. So punch the thumbs up real quick, and then once we have 50, we'll start it. I have to go to my YouTube channel real quickly and click something. All right, you guys ready? I see the thumbs up coming in. Okay. Sorry, I had to do some housekeeping there. All right, we're ready. We're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2. Here comes the link. If you want to get in the mock draft, it's going to go quick. 3, 2, 1. And we're full. It's so quick. There's no way Noah got in. There's no way Noah got in. There's absolutely no way. That's way too quick. Sorry, Noah. I'm not laughing at you. Really. Okay, a little bit. Begin draft. There's just no way Noah got in. Absolutely no way. Smitty, when you get a chance, can you read mine at some point? I'll try, bro. I get so many DMs. For me to even remember to go check it. He doesn't listen to anyone else's opinion except you. Yes, this guy Noah only listens to you. Yes, this guy Noah only listens. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm on the clock. I'm reading my. Oh, I just zoomed in. Sorry, guys. Clyde. Going Clyde. Damn, on the clock, and I'm still trying to find what James is saying. I don't know why it interests me so much. James, what are you saying? Why can't I? What is going on here? There we go. Sorry, guys, I had to move the screen around a little bit. I'm going to miss it again. You did miss it, though. I knew you missed it. Smitty, can you make a mod? Nick, who do I need to make a mod? No. What did I tell you? No, I don't know if that was your phone. I think that was more so. That was lightning speed, bro. That draft filled up in lightning speed. You didn't have a shot. But I knew you didn't make it. There was no way. All right, should we put James in timeout? James, there's no need to ask it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on. Let me drag them all on screen. James wants to know, what's the ticking noise? James wants to know what the ticking noise is. James.
Take a lap.
I think James might need to go in timeout. Just for a little bit. Not long. Just a little bit. James, we'll see in a little bit. I love James wants to be a mod. Can you make me a mod? Nick, I think I can. DM me on Instagram. Seclan would be a good mod. If Seclan wants to be a mod, I definitely. Nick, I think you're in too. Smitty ain't the only fantasy expert. I've started to think James Rowe, not James Devlin. James Rowe is not a fan. James, what did I ever do to you, bro? This is my first time being here because I'm trying to figure out why you only follow his advice. James, welcome. And what did I do to this graphic? It is so big. Kind of like, it's as big as the love that James Rowe has for me. Oh, I'm on the clock. James, this is the second time I almost timed out because of James. Oh, damn. I got it in. Oh. I gotta figure out how to fix that. I have to keep like raising it up each time. Smitty, can you tell James Rowe that Jacobs is better than Mixon by a mile? He passed on Jacobs to get Mixon, and I snagged Jacobs after that. First of all, Noah, I don't know what you told James Rowe about me. Yeah, James Rowe says don't mix me up with James Devlin. This is James Rowe's first show, and he realizes how insulting that would have been. First of all, James Rowe, Noah doesn't listen to half of what I say, so I don't know where you got that information. Noah argues with me all the time, so he listens to himself more than he listens to me. Number one. So I don't know what information you got. Number two, hang out for a while. Maybe you'll like the content, bro. Maybe he likes it because I've been doing this 16 years and dropping bold prediction after bold prediction on CBS Sports Radio. I'm almost timing out again. Enough with you, James Rowe. But I appreciate you being here. Okay. I'm on the clock. This is for James. What's that ticking? James reminds me of my grandma. What's that ticking? Ah. I do not like that pick. But I timed out arguing with James Rowe. Having a one-way conversation with James Rowe. Thanks, James Rowe. Okay, Noah, we'll get him out of here. James, the best player in 2020 is Nathan Peterman. Hopefully James Rowe will leave now. Noah, is that what you wanted? I don't hate the Amari Cooper pick. I just don't like it at all. If that makes any sense. Makes me feel filthy. Okay, I'll kill the music. Leonard Fournette is better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Oh my, Purple. Welcome back, Purple. Now,
Take a
Leonard Fournette, you've got to be kidding me. James says, bro, fix the screen. I can't see the draft board. Yes, sir, James. On it. Oh, James. He's not wrong here, but it's kind of his approach. It's the way he tells me that I don't like. It's the way he yells at me that I don't like. I don't like when James Devlin yells at me. It makes me feel... There we go. I was wondering why the hell... I am not a taco. I don't know what that means. Purple says... Purple is on the dope, says Frank. James, be like, what's the ticking? I know it's... How is it that hard to figure out what's ticking, James? Oh. Hold on, I gotta move this over. I gotta figure out my draft board. God, you guys take... Oh, I had to go with the guy I wanted. I didn't want to get screwed. Umberger, I didn't know you were in the draft. I didn't see you at the end there. Umberger is back. All right. I still like this team, but I just don't love Cooper. If I had to go back, you guys, the thing about it is that Cooper was probably one of the best picks there because you guys are drafting, in my mind, a perfect draft because we're all like-minded, taking, no big mistakes are happening, So Jonathan Taylor is a guy I would have maybe taken at 3.5 and been kind of comfortable with. I don't know. Damn it! I got to get rid of some of the features on my new computer, like this magic mouse that I have. It like freaking, I got to turn off the zoom effect because I continuously like slide my finger across the top of the mouse and it zooms everything in. Look at, see, damn it! Okay, let me raise that up. I want to turn back time. I think that'll work. Let me just move it over slightly. I know what I need to do. Oh, I'm on the clock again. I've not been that focused on this draft. There we go. I want to turn back time. There we go. George Kittle. Damn it. I'm going to leave it there. That's the best I'm going to get for today. Jonathan Taylor hasn't proven anything, says James Rowe. You're acting like he's the next coming of Saquon. Who is, James? Who's saying that? Who said that, James? Do you see J.K. Dobbins taking over as the number one this season? I think at some point he could, for sure. But I don't know that I'd bank on it because, if Ingram's healthy, he's a leader there. I don't get the Taylor hype. He's good, but he's still a rookie. You won't find too many people that haven't been like, hey, slow your roll on the Taylor stuff than me. But at fourth, oftentimes fourth round value, he's only going 3.6 in our mock here because we're super high on him, or my community is, more than I was. Now I'm starting to really like him as my fourth drafted player, but not as my third, which is why I passed on him. But I wasn't excited about Amari Cooper, to be honest. Smitty James is mad at me because my team is way better than his, says Noah. Smitty, I'm disappointed. Your team sucks, says Purple. Purple, you're always disappointed in me, so I don't know that you'd ever like anything I do, to be honest. Rapture, thanks for stopping by. Noah, you literally only follow Smitty's advice and no other fantasy expert. James, give it up. No, Noah doesn't even listen to me. It's like, what are you talking about, James? And not to mention, he goes to the beat of his own drum, number one, argues with me all of the time, but who cares? I've nailed a lot of stuff. I've missed a lot of stuff, but I have a pretty solid track record with bold predictions, bro, and he likes it. He likes it here. There's nothing wrong with following your favorite analyst, okay? Leave my boy Noah alone. Noah and I may go butt heads once in a while, all the time almost, but I'm still going to defend him. He's part of the show. Let's see, do I go JK here? Yeah. J.K. Dobbins. Look at that. I like that. I like that team. Do you really think that's a bad team, Purple? This is a mock for Smitty. He's just clowning y'all. What? Who will be the highest scoring rookie wide receiver this year? Good question, Umberger. I imagine it'll be Lamb. It could be Mims because of volume. Ray, all these guys have potential to lead that. Why am I not a fan of DJ Moore? I'm not a hater of DJ Moore. I just don't take him as high as people have been taking him. Like, to give you a feel, I'm on the clock. Hold on. All right, I will be on the clock right now. Yeah, rookie wide receivers is tough. Smitty is the GOAT, that's why. There's nothing wrong with watching or following one person, or following, a couple people. Like, you don't have to follow everybody, bro. Like, what's wrong with following one person? Plus, again, he doesn't listen to half of what I say. So what are you even talking about? Yeah, AJ Brown way over DJ Moore, Couch. I agree with that. What's up, Couch? AJ Brown not over DJ Moore, Thomas. Come on, Thomas. Thomas?
Take a lap.
No tight end yet because we are only drafting through 7 rounds. We're pretending we would go a lot longer. So let's look at these teams and evaluate it. What's up, Seclan and the Hizzy? Very glad to see you, my man. Okay, James, let's see this again. James, give it time. Like, for one, James, you haven't been here but 30 minutes. Like, what if you absolutely love the content? You're like, now I kind of see why. Give it a chance, bro. You always bring him up to prove why your player is better than mine when most experts in rankings say that a player better than yours. You're just using the opinion of one person while I have the opinion of a lot. James, he doesn't listen to half of what I say, if not, that's even being generous. Probably not any more mocks. We're going to talk a little strategy. Purple's laughing here. DJ Moore will get more volume. AJ Brown gets what? 4 targets. I don't know what's more funny. Sorry, Purple. I'm not trying to go at you too hard here, but I am. But when someone does the triple crying emojis when it's not even warranted, like your comment doesn't warrant, it's almost like the eyeball emoji thing. Like you say something that literally is not deserving of being that far. Like DJ Moore and AJ Brown, you could argue one over the other. Like I'm a huge AJ Brown supporter, bro. You will not find a bigger AJ Brown supporter than me. I've been beating that drum louder and longer than anybody. Find me someone that has AJ Brown as a top 5 wide receiver in January. You can't. Okay? But even I can admit there's an argument to be made. There's an argument to be made. James, Smitty, you got Noah brainwashed. I don't have anybody brainwashed, bro. DJ Moore will get more volume. You could argue that, Purple. You could argue that. And I'm not going to get mad at you. That's your opinion. But to actually put 3 straight crying emojis when you're talking about a rookie wide receiver in A.J. Brown who had 1,000 yards. He had 1,000 yards. What do you have, 7 or 8 touchdowns in the 70, I'm blanking on the exact number, 72 receptions and I think 8 TDs. Was it 8 TDs? Somebody look it up. And 10, I got to find the exact numbers. It's driving me nuts that I don't actually have that off the top of my head. I'm so tired. This whole studio build and everything that I've been doing this week has me like literally exhausted to the max. Like I can't even think. I had someone on Instagram say, Smitty, you should go to sleep right now. That's true. I should go to sleep. A.J. Brown had 52 receptions for 1051 and 8 TDs. 8 TDs. 1,000 yards and 8 TDs. And you're putting a crying emoji on the screen saying on what? 4 targets a game? They got him 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns? Like, bro. You can't use the triple crying emoji on that. You can't triple stamp a double stamp on DJ Moore over AJ Brown. You have no authority to do that. You have no authority whatsoever, Purple, to use a triple stamp on a double stamp. You keep telling yourself that, Noah. Why is everybody going at Noah today? Poor Noah. Poor Noah. All right, let's rate these teams real quick, and then we're going to talk a few strategy things. Attaboy, Jake. Attaboy, Jake. That's what I'm talking about. AJ Brown's going to be the man. AJ Brown ate DK Metcalf this offseason. AJ Brown said, you know what? I'm tired of everybody. That photo of DK flexing. AJ Brown standing right next to him, unnoticed. And he looks just as big. He's just 2 inches shorter. So he decided, I'm going to eat DK Metcalf whole. He swallowed him whole during the offseason. And AJ Brown looks bigger than Calvin Johnson, even though he's 2 inches shorter. He's wider. He's pound for pound bigger. He weighs more pound for pound. He looks like Calvin Johnson. And everyone's going to be so... I knew it. I saw AJ Brown coming. Smitty, I want an apology when he outperforms AJ Brown. I'll gladly tell you I'm wrong. Okay, let's look at these teams. First team, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce, Mike Evans, Le'Veon Bell. Let me highlight these. That team is fire. I would have preferred you had like a Brady or a Watson, and you could have had Watson instead of Fuller. Is Fuller really going to be the difference maker for you when you could get Deshaun Watson or did he already go? He went right before. Let's see. Yeah, he was the best. I guess I'd say to you, take Watson or Russell Wilson at 5.1. I like McLaurin a lot, but I think that would be. I think adding a quarterback at that level puts a team at the 1.1, 1.2 over the top. I love drafting a big scoring quarterback. Let's see, James. I will respect Smitty's opinion when he explains to me why. Who will not be good? I don't even know what player you're talking about. And I don't necessarily need your respect, James, but it's not required. It's not required here. Barkley, Galladay, Aaron Jones, Cooper Kupp, Ridley, Breeze. So team one, I'm going to put in the top 5. Ramos, I'm going to say that I love your. Yeah, you're like right in the middle of the pack with a lot of upside. If Aaron Jones ends up duplicating or getting even close to his numbers from last year, your team can be in the top 5, no question about it. JP, Eckler, Godwin, Melvin Gordon, Chark, Andrews, Russell Wilson, Gibson, I'd say top 6 for sure. Alvin Kamara, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Mostert, Ertz, Watson. I love this. The reason I love this is, Chicken, you went Kamara, Julio, a little bit of a reach on A.J. Brown, but you're in our world right here where we're so high on A.J. Brown. You can't get him in the 4th round in our mocks, but please keep that in mind when you step outside of the fantasy football show, that you're going to get A.J. Brown in the 4th, maybe even 5th round. So don't take A.J. Brown at 3.4. You don't need to. But you reach for him, took away a little bit of your momentum there. But then I think Ertz, Mostert, and Watson were so strong and safe, it brought you back into the top 4 or 5, bro. Okay. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper, Kyler Murray, Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Boyd. Not my favorite team that I've ever drafted, but I like it. I think it's still top 6. I don't know that I'd call myself top 3, but this is a top 6 team. If Cooper ends up being the man, or if I get running back 1 production and I don't get like a split thing all year with Ingram and J.K. and I can find out who to start each week, that's gonna be a high scoring team. So I really do actually like it. I didn't like it at first how it was breaking down. Derrick Henry, Hopkins, Jonathan Taylor. James wants me to explain Mixon and Sanders. Well, I've already done that. He can rewatch the show for Sanders because I've already done that. I've dedicated enough time to the man called James. To James Devlin's brother, James Rowe. Almost timed out twice. He's taken up enough of my time. If he wants to hate or not be a part of the show, he can do that. I'm pretty much done talking to him about it. Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Jonathan Taylor, DK Metcalf, Hollywood Brown, Tom Brady, and Hayden Hurst. This is a very good team. This is a top 4 team. No question about it. I absolutely love it. I think similar to what Chicken did, where you take a little bit of a risk, and Jonathan Taylor in the 3rd round is a little bit of a risk. You come back strong with DK. I think Hollywood Brown is going to have a huge year, and you guys know how I feel about Brady. This is a very well-rounded team with not a whole lot of risk going on. Dalvin Cook, Lamar Jackson, Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt, Keenan Allen, very, very understated team there, bro. You got a lot of talent there. You're top 5. I think we're running out of top 5 teams. Couch, I don't know how I even I think because I had things bouncing around because I got a new computer, so all my settings were off. If you noticed, I didn't even know you were in this mock because I couldn't see your avatar because I had to keep pulling things down. So I'm glad you joined the mock. I didn't even see you join, bro. Like I feel embarrassed. Sorry. My new computer's been a blessing and kind of a hindrance all day because I haven't had half of my crap loaded on it. It's been kind of a mess. I didn't transfer and back up and put my exact copy of my old computer on here because I had so much crap on it. I wanted to start fresh with a fresh, clean install. And so I've been slowly all day making it my own again. And I'm pretty much there. I just haven't got it all there. But sorry, Couch. I didn't even know you were in the draft, bro. Jacobs, Nick Chubb, Allen Robinson, Gurley, Sutton, Devontae Parker, Josh Allen. I like it. You know how I feel about Gurley, bro, and that's kind of what happens. I look at your team, and usually this year when you've owned Gurley, we see our teams a little different. I like Nick Chubb. I like Jacobs. I think Parker was a steal. I think Allen could definitely produce from that level that you got him at. A-Rob's just steady. A-Rob was like, he was so. I drafted him in the Scott Fish Bowl because he had such a darn good year, and in that league I think you get like 0.5 per first down, and he killed it in that. So I like the team. I don't know if I put it in the top 3 or 4, but I think it's definitely in like the top 4 to 7. But there's a lot of good teams here. It's not one of my favorites of the group, but because it's Gurley. You know I don't like Gurley. Next up, of course, I'm going to get a little delay here. Don't draft Clyde Edwards. He's overrated, says Purple. Oh, my God. Sorry. I got to stop, guys.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
Take a lap.
This segment brought to you by Purple with the dumb comment of the day.
Take a lap.
Congratulations, Purple. You have won a Take a Lap feature. I don't know if you're serious or you're trying to just mess with him so he doesn't draft him. Either way, the comment deserved it. Michael Thomas, Joe Mixon, Chris Carson, Robert Woods, Dak Prescott. Talent there. I'm not a big believer in Carson. You guys know how I feel about Joe Mixon. Like him later. Don't like him when Eckler's still on the board. There's a lot of players I like better than Mixon. Greg, Adams, Eckler, Connor, Thielen, Singletary, Waller, Gallup. Very decent team. Love the first 2 picks. Connor, I'm torn on. I think there's definitely upside, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I trust him as my 3rd drafted player, but that's a late 3rd. You're almost talking 4th round at that point. But then you couple it with Thielen, though. And I think that, he could be good, but there's a lot of risk in that 3.10 pick to even Devin Singletary now is looking a little riskier than we would have liked. But I love the Waller pick. That was excellent. Just not in my top 5. Miles Sanders, Drake, DJ Moore, David Johnson, Lockett, Swift, Hilton. Not a big fan of DJ or David Johnson. DJ Moore's okay there because that's almost 4th round value. I don't like him early. People were taking DJ Moore like last pick in the 2nd round, like earlier on in the year. And that's where a lot of my DJ Moore, everyone thinks I hate DJ Moore. I don't hate DJ Moore. People were taking him way too freaking high. No room for hiccups or, slow moving, meshing between him and his quarterback. This is okay value. I'm not mad at 3.11 value. Everyone keeps saying I hate DJ Moore, which is so funny. I don't hate him. I just don't draft him as high as a lot of people do. This is okay. But David Johnson, Lockett, DJ Moore, there's a lot of risk on this team. This team could have some problems. I think being consistent early on, and then David, Lockett could be the wide receiver 1, or he could be a guy that disappoints. But from 5.11 value, it's not bad. I don't dislike that value. You take DJ Moore as early as 2.11. Not me, my man. Not me. Not me. Umberger. Kittle early, bro. Woo. Kittle, Mahomes, Odell, Juju, David Montgomery, AJ Brown, Marlon Mack. So had David Montgomery like a couple weeks ago, I would have been like, okay, you kind of recovered from reaching a little bit on Kittle and reaching a little bit on Mahomes. So you did back-to-back reaching, and that put you, I think, a little bit behind the game. But then I would have said, oh, but you got Montgomery. But Montgomery's looking questionable right now. I wouldn't be comfortable with those running backs. I know you were trying something, and it's interesting to try, but I think I would take Mahomes and Kittle. Like, you could almost get Mahomes and Kittle in some drafts, bro, at 2.12 and 3.1 and still have Barkley or still have freaking McCaffrey. So, I don't know. It's not a horrible, like, you did well, but Kittle and Mahomes both were reaches by a lot. So, tough to say. But I like that you're trying out crazy stuff. And that does it for that. Let's talk about some fantasy football strategies and stuff like that. I think that what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, before we do some Q&A, I'll answer some questions too. But one thing that I've been trying lately with people that have paid to have me draft with them is the wide receiver approach. And this approach at first glance was like, how are you going to do that with the running backs getting scooped up? I didn't like the way that the running backs were falling. And then as I started to do it with some people that wanted to roll the dice, I really started liking this if you're in the right spot. If you're in the right spot to get a Mike Thomas, so you have MT, you have Hopkins, who falls oftentimes into the second round at the same pick that will correlate with the pick you'd have if you drafted MT. And then Evans sometimes will fall to the pick that correlates to that draft selection where you're drafting MT and Hopkins and Evans. So if you start off with your draft like this, you are protected, man, into some solid scoring. And if you could for sure make sure you reach on Brady, who I absolutely love in 2020. You guys know that. So we'll put Brady over here because you're not drafting anywhere near these three guys, but you're drafting MT number 1 at 5, 6, 7. You're drafting Hopkins with that corresponding second round pick. You're drafting Evans with that 3.5, 3.6, whatever it corresponds with the pick that you got MT and Hopkins at. And then on top of that, you're drafting Brady in round 8, round 9, wherever you've got to draft them, and you're gonna determine that based on your pre-rank list on if you're on ESPN, where the hell is Brady showing up on the pre-rank list. If he's the second quarterback left, according to the ADP rankings on the pre-rank list, you're not going to get him if you try and go a whole round, from that point on. You got to make sure once Brady shows up within a scroll, you're starting to get ready to target him at the next value. So if you start off your draft with this, mid-rounders are full of value at wide receiver. They are, though, Christopher, and I've been drafting that way for the majority of the year. But the ADPs and the way players fall changes throughout the offseason when Clyde Edwards-Helaire bumps up, when guys like Eckler and Drake move around, quarterbacks move up and down. Like, everything gets bumped around. And so you got to rethink about approaches. You can't just stick to a same approach you did in June or May or April. And doing this approach, I found that you can oftentimes get a Mostert. You can oftentimes get a Jonathan Taylor. You can oftentimes get a Kareem Hunt. So if you're grabbing 2 or sometimes 3 of these running backs with those wide receivers, with Tom Brady, you have yourself an insane, insane team. What is this 50K thing that I keep seeing? What is anybody even talking about? Oh, he's talking to 50K, the user. I was like, why does he keep dropping that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I love this approach, man. I love this approach. You won't land it in every single draft you do, but if you can get Mike Thomas, Hopkins, Evans with your first, second, and your third round picks, and you can abort at any time. Like let's say Evans goes. Like, don't just grab a receiver that doesn't fit the bill for this. But I specifically loved this approach and did this approach with a follower who paid to have me draft with him, and he was scared. Like, he was like, "Let's roll the dice." We drafted MT, Hopkins, Evans, and he was like, "Bro, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?" And then as the draft moved on, I'm like, "Relax, relax. We're gonna get the guy. We're gonna get the guy you want." Taylor was there. Taylor was there. And I'm like, grab Taylor as your fourth drafted player. Considering the wide receiver approach, Taylor was a steal as his running back one. Then when he was on the clock, very different than this right here, he got A.J. Brown. He didn't even take his second running back. And then on top of that, he got Mostert and Hunt and Brady as well. 50K says, if you don't answer this time, I'm done. Bro, this question right here. First of all, that's not the way to get your question answered. Second of all, I'm doing the best I can. As my mom always said to me, 50K, I'm doing the best I can. I don't know if anybody else got their mom to yell that at them at a constant rate, but I heard that growing up every day of my life. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, top 3 running back this year, Smitty. Don't leave 50K, but I think he absolutely could be a top 1 to. I put him as a 1 to 5 running back. He could be slower starting. I don't think so, based on what I'm hearing right now, but could be slower starting because of COVID, but they're kind of throwing him to the wolves right now. I think he's going to learn a lot and have a lot under his belt. Kansas City is one of the most complex offenses in the NFL, though. That's a tough playbook. I know 50K, I'm joking too. That's a tough playbook to learn. Damian Williams was elite in 2018 from his last 4 games on, and then 2 games into the playoffs. He scored, I think he was the number 2 running back in the NFL in his last 6 played games in 2018. He had 10 touchdowns in 6 straight starts, 4 regular season games in 2018, the 2 playoff games. He had 10 touchdowns in that 6-game span. He had over 100 total yards average per game in that 6-game span, was running back number 2 in that category of that stat range in that game, 6-game range. And he said at the end of that, this should give people hope. He said at the end of that season, 2018, and everyone thought he was going to go crazy in 2019, and he didn't until the Super Bowl. But he said the offense is complex. I still don't know it, is what he said after that season. And they had to call special plays for him. When they do a specific route, he sometimes has to be told what to do on that route or on that play. And so it's not crazy to think that Clyde won't pick up this offense like that. Clyde was in the best offense and on the best team with the best quarterback, in my opinion, in college football. So he knows a little bit about being thrown in with the best, complex, playing tough defenses, reading defenses. Clyde has a big advantage over a ton of other rookies, pretty much every other rookie, because of the level of talent this guy played with. Clyde Edwards-Helaire played with the best, not only on his team, but he played against the best on defense. A lot of the guys getting drafted in the first and second round, Clyde Edwards-Helaire danced around on the field in college football. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, ability to move left and right, those micro movements we always talk about, which I'm going to do in the grocery store the next time I think of it. And I have a contest out that the person that sends me a video clip, maybe James Rowe wants to go do it, or Noah, as instead of fighting. The person that sends me the best video clip of them micro movement moving around in society, whether it's at the grocery store, at college, in your classroom, with your mom in the living room, the best person that does a micro movement video, best submission that wins will get a lifetime subscription to sleeperu.com. Something that I don't think James Rowe is very interested in, but James, you might want to check it out. And if you want to hire me for your draft, heysmitty.com. I can be booked for your draft. I've drafted in a dozen drafts so far, and it's been a whole hell of a lot of fun. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire reads defenses better than any college football running back, any running back coming into the pros this year. And I venture to say that he's going to pick things up quickly and be coined that kind of player in the NFL right away, too. It won't take him long to get into the NFL in the best offense, with the best quarterback, with the best situation, in probably one of the most spread out attacks in football, which very much caters to exactly what he delivered and what he rolled with in college and at LSU. What other situation could the man have gone to that was better? He's in an attack that's completely spread out, given him the ability to make decisions to go left or right when in a gap, spread out on the field, trying to choose his rushing lane of choice, with defenses completely worried and spread out, trying to cover Kelsey, Hill, Mecole Hardman, worrying about Pat Mahomes. What's Pat Mahomes doing? And here, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's the king of navigating open spaces. What Clyde Edwards-Helaire does best is, you've got defenders spread out, right? He makes his own decisions on what path, what trajectory he's going to take on the field. And he literally feels his way through those open planes and spaces. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire takes it one space at a time. He walks into an open space, does a little shimmy, makes one defender miss because they can't get a direct hit on the guy. He attacks the next widest open space. It's like he's a magnet for open space. And I just think that he's going to thrive at the next level. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not a typical running back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire not only is one of the most special running backs moving from left to right that I've ever seen. I don't care about pro, college, wherever. I've never seen a guy move from left to right better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire, better than Ray Rice did. And to go to this situation, he'd have to literally get hurt for it not to work out, in my opinion. That's the only thing that I think you worry about. Hollywood better than DJ Moore, says Royal. Look, I know a lot of people are going to clown on Royal for saying that, but I'm here to tell you, this is not something that you can just say with 100% certainty that the power just went out. That sucks. I hate when that happens. We have a huge storm here. In Arizona, we got a lot of thunderstorms and monsoons and stuff like that. We have a huge thunderstorm streak coming in, I think, this next week, starting tonight. So I could have some power outage issues as well. I might be doing lives on my phone. I know a lot of people are going to say Royals off base here, but I'm going to defend. I'm sorry. Is Kango saying it and Royals bashing him? Sorry. Other way around. Kango says, Kango says Hollywood Brown's better than DJ Moore, and Royals questioning him, I believe. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's still a topic I'm going to throw up here. If I didn't watch the draft, I wouldn't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire a top 3 pick the way Smitty talks about him. I don't know what to say here. Purple, I still appreciate you being here. Hollywood Brown. Yeah, James, I appreciate you being here too, and you're totally welcome here. But clearly you don't like the content. Okay, so Kango, I don't disagree with Kango. I don't. I like DJ Moore. I'm not trashing DJ Moore. I'm not saying DJ Moore can't be a top 12 wide receiver. In 2020, he certainly can. I'm not saying DJ Moore's a bust. I'm not saying anything of the sort. Thank you, Augie. Augie with the super chat. Much appreciated, Augie. Mahomes, McCaffrey, Mixon, Mostert, Metcalf, Parker, Landry, 10-team league. So McCaffrey was your first pick. Mixon was your second. Mahomes was your third. Metcalf was probably your fourth. Mostert your fifth, or Mostert your fifth. Metcalf your whatever. Parker, excellent team. I don't think you reached anywhere for anybody. Mixon in that scenario is a good running back to have. I don't love Mixon myself. There's probably players I like better than Mixon, but you're very safe all the way around. You can afford a little risk if Mixon gets it going early. If Burrow's the real deal, which I think he will be in time, but if Burrow can deliver right away and keep defenses honest, then Mixon could prove me wrong. I'm not saying Mixon 100% bust. I'm saying there are enough red flags around Mixon to avoid him when you're given better options. When you're given better options, then I roll with those better options over Mixon. At some point, Mixon's going to cross a line where I believe Mixon is the best player on the board. I don't hate Mixon. I don't like his decision-making off the field, obviously, but I think Mixon, as a player, fantasy football analysis, judging his talent, is a very talented running back. There's just a lot of red flags for him. He busted the entire first half of the season in 2019. He faced a bunch of 8-man fronts constantly, and I think Mixon is in a good position to disappoint you again for a half of a year as Burrow goes through some growing pains. Yes, I know Burrow is supposed to be an upgrade in everyone's eyes, but there's a chance that he has a season much like Danny Dimes did, up and down. A lot of people are on board heading into his second year. I think Danny Dimes could take a big step forward in 2020. I like him a lot. I think Joe Burrow's the real deal eventually, but a lot of quarterbacks struggle during their rookie year. Not every quarterback runs like Kyler Murray does and protects himself into a certain value range that even an up and down season is going to be off the hook for a rookie. So Augie, love the team. I contemplate trading Mixon for the right player if you can laterally trade into a safer player. But past that, man, I mean, I love the Parker pick. I love the Metcalf pick. I love is it redraft? I don't know if it's redraft or dynasty. But I love Lamb and dynasty. I like him a lot down the stretch in 2020. I think he could be up and down as a rookie. A lot of rookies are, and find his way by the end of the year. So, but great team. Great team. But back on point with the, let's see. Smitty, why do you act like that? You act like an egomaniac, as if your only opinion matters. Purple gave his opinion and you tried to humiliate him twice. What are you talking about? How did I try and humiliate Purple? How did I try and humiliate Purple? First of all, Fortune, I let people voice their opinion, and I defend people that have differing opinions, because you know what? No one can predict what's going to happen. Everybody has misses. I could have misses. I might be wrong on Fournette. I might be wrong on this guy, wrong on that guy. I didn't like Fournette last year. I didn't like him the year prior. I was right the year prior. I was not right this past year. He had a great year. So I don't know what you're talking about, how I didn't let him have his opinion or whatever you said, but I don't know what you're talking about. So, Fortune, I feel like you're normally a positive poster, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if maybe, Fortune, you read something wrong, but I only go after people that are going after other people in the chat, or when somebody comes in with a total negative tone and they go at something I'm saying as if I can't have an opinion on something. That's when you see me go at somebody. Or if it's about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I joke around, which, if you don't know, well, if you love me, then Fortune, what are you saying? I don't know what you're saying. Was it the Clyde Edwards-Helaire comment? I don't even remember what the comment was. But the humor of the show too, bro, you got to take into account. So not always do I mean what I'm saying, as far as like putting something on screen, making people take a lap. A-Rod is done. I don't agree with that. I think A-Rod does have some time left. I just feel you go after people when they talk bad about your players. Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe some of that's true, Fortune, but it's more so the approach, bro. It's more so the approach. It's when somebody comes in and they crap on something instead of saying, "Hey, I like this player more than that player. This is why," or "Hey, I like DJ Moore," or "Hey, I like James Devlin over James Rowe." That's all good. Why is everybody sleeping on Preston Williams? He seems to be talked about a lot, man. So I don't know. A lot of people are sleeping on him. I think a lot of people always say "good pick" when you take Preston Williams. You always hear that "good pick." I like that pick. I think a lot of people like him. Maybe people forget. Listening to you might learn. Listening might learn something. Mixon gonna prove everyone wrong. He might, but that's the part that I say. We all could be wrong from time to time in here, guys. I could be wrong on Mixon. It's all about how people approach that. Like, it's okay to disagree. And maybe Fortune, I don't. You still haven't told me what I was saying. If it was the Clyde Edwards-Helaire, if it was the Clyde Edwards-Helaire thing, that's just what I do to anybody that rips on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Fortune says, Kango, you said Hardman over Moore, and you need to learn something. Anything can happen, guys. Noah, please don't be wrong on Mixon, Smitty. But here's the thing. Let me explain Mixon, because I hear this a lot. Smitty, let's see. Joey says, yeah, I tell Smitty he's wrong on every chat. He never has hated on me for speaking the truth. Elbow cough. Okay, so let me tell you about this one. If I'm wrong on Mixon, I'm not going to lose a single wink of sleep at night. I'm not going to feel like I strayed any of my people wrong at all, because I'm telling you to avoid Mixon for safer players that should score as much or more without the risk as Mixon. Mixon's going so high. Eckler's sitting there. Hopkins is there. Mahomes and Lamar are there. Kelsey and Kittle are there. There are a lot of players where Mixon is that are just safer. And I don't know for 100% certainty anything. And nor am I right about everything. But what I do know is that 6 times out of, I mean, this, I'm guessing on the math here, obviously, but 6 out of 10 times I feel that Mixon, with the red flags that surround Mixon, has disappointed me. Therefore, I'm going to roll with this player, that player, that player, that player. There's literally like 7 players at Mixon's ADP that I like that are still available typically. And so if Mixon ends up tearing it up and he doesn't struggle, so what? I'm telling you to go grab a guy that you're going to be plenty happy with anyway. It really doesn't bother me if I'm wrong on Mixon. It doesn't mean that my content's bad. I totally misjudged this. So-and-so has got me. You know how many times somebody comes to me and says, Smitty, you got Mixon wrong. Let's pretend I'm wrong on Mixon. Mixon tears it up, and I do my oopsie and nailed it show. So for those that are new in here, I do an oopsie and nailed it show where I admit my wrongs. I'm not one of those analysts that doesn't admit when he's wrong, deletes everything he's ever put up of things he got wrong. I do a nailed it and oopsie show. And let's say in week 5, Mixon's a top 2-3 running back. He's tearing it up. He'll be on my oopsie show, and I will admit my wrong. Okay? But I've told people to draft Jacobs, to draft Hopkins, to draft Mahomes. I don't feel bad about telling anybody to draft one of those guys over Mixon. Mixon could tear it up and it not be a big deal to me. It's not like I've said Mixon's going to bust at 3.2. You heard me tonight. Somebody said, hey, Smitty, I got Mixon at 3.1. What do you think of that? I liked it. If Mixon fell to 3.1, I'd be back on board. And that doesn't make me a flip-flopper. That makes me an adjusting and an adapting analyst that knows when to not stick to his guns just to stick to his guns. I go with the flow of the value. And everything's based on ADP. Everything is based on ADP. And when Miles Sanders and Mixon are going at 1.8 to 2.2, and there are just way, way, way better players available that have no risk, just as much upside, didn't just bust for half of a season the year prior, doesn't have what some people and some people don't. Some people think he has some injuries, concerns, decision-making off the field concerns, new quarterback, rookie quarterback, potential up and down beginning of the year as Burrow gets comfortable in the Bengals offense, which has been historically disappointing here and there. I wouldn't call this the offense that Burrow walks into and it's just going to be magical from the start. This is the Bengals, bro. A lot of reasons to say 7 times out of 10, this feels like that situation is going to be disappointing. I'll avoid it. And on the off chance, those 3 out of 10 times that it works out, it works out. Doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you made a calculated decision to avoid risk at that turn. And so I'm not telling anybody that I wouldn't jump back on board of Mixon at 3.1 because I would. Fournette, I don't like Fournette at all. I've drafted Fournette in the 4th round because the risk is a lot lower. We're not talking about apples to apples there. Talking about avoiding Fournette in the 2nd round. People forget when I went on the no Fournette string of weeks where I was like, no Fournette, no Fournette, no Fournette, no Fournette, no Fournette, no Fournette. He was getting taken in January at 1.12 to 2.05. That's where Fournette was getting taken. He was a first, early second, but sometimes late 1st round draft pick. And I got ripped apart for saying no Fournette, no Fournette. This is January, February. Early ADP, early mock drafting. Some of you don't even know that Fournette was getting drafted at number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 overall because you weren't mock drafting. You're not as crazy as we are, the regulars in here. But we mock drafted in January. We mock drafted in December. We mock drafted in November for 2020. And Fournette was going at 1.9, 1.10, and 1.11, 1.12 over and over and over again. Now Fournette's going in the 4th round. How wrong was I then if I was saying stay away from Fournette? So I don't know. You shaved? Yeah, I did shave down. When I shaved down to it, like it's all like red. I guess every once in a while I'm like I'm gonna shave it down and then I'm like, damn it, my skin gets all irritated. I need to stop shaving it. You youngster. Crack open a Bud Light. No, I'm gonna get another drink though. It's a good comment. I think you can still hear me pretty clearly, but yeah. So bottom line is, people don't listen to people that rip on you for having an opinion. Now I'm in the fridge and avoiding a player like DJ Moore. Like I'm not telling anybody that DJ Moore won't be a top 12 wide receiver. I'm not telling you that DJ Moore is for sure going to bust. I'm not telling you that Mixon's for sure going to bust. I'm not telling you that Fournette's for sure going to bust. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm not telling you, and I keep seeing the Miles Sanders, Noah. Miles Sanders. I'm not telling you Miles Sanders is for sure going to bust. I'm not telling anybody they shouldn't believe in Miles Sanders. They shouldn't believe in Fournette or believe in Mixon. But when you come to my show and you want to know where I'm drafting these guys and why I'm avoiding certain players over others, you have to understand it's not that I'm telling you that Miles Sanders is going to fail for sure. It's not like I'm telling you that Miles Sanders is going to 100% be a bust or that I don't like him at all or I don't see poor man's Alvin Kamara in Miles Sanders, because I do. And I've told people that 100,000 times, but people hear what they want to hear. People, no offense, Noah, but like if you conveyed it a certain way that I just hate Sanders, that could be partially, the clip that you caught of me saying it or the way I said it one time. So partially my fault, I guess. But I have been pretty clear on that there's a line in the sand for everybody. This is a Coca-Cola. Yeah, not a brewski. I don't even drink. Everyone thinks something like, I get a lot of comments like, oh, is he on drugs? He's wired. I don't drink. I don't have time to drink. I drink caffeine. Sanders isn't for sure a bust in my eyes. Sanders is a loaded with red flags. Loaded with red flags. And for those of you that follow me, you know that once a player has multiple red flags, especially 3 or 4, it's time to not call them a bust. I still have a line in the sand where I draft Sanders. I like Sanders at 18, 19, 20 overall, where he used to go in January, February, I think even March. Smitty, I apologize. I'm not like your sugar daddy, JP. I can't draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first. Okay. See, how am I going at him, Fortune? Tell me what. I'll take all the punches in the world. I don't care. Nobody hurts my feelings. I got thick skin. Nothing bothers me. But they go at me, bro. I just throw it back. Just learn how to play the basics of guitar. Attaboy. I should play my guitar, sing you guys a little lullaby, little fantasy football lullaby. Easily DJ over Ridley, DJ more over Ridley. I don't know what to say easily. I'd say I like both. Both have upside. But back to Sanders. So when it comes to somebody saying, hey, Smitty, do I take Sanders at 1.9? Here's what goes through my head. This is why people think, oh, he hates Sanders. Sanders is a bust. I hate Sanders at that value. Remember when Dalvin Cook was such a risky call by me? And Dalvin Cook is in every intro video I have.
Top 5 running back. Top 5 running back. Top 5 running back.
Every intro video I have from 2019, Dalvin Cook, I boldly put my balls on the line and put him
running back
in my bold prediction and in the video intro of every video. Do you know how many people came at me last year and said, that's crazy, that's great value, James Rowe at 23. I take Miles Sanders at 23, 22, 25. But I don't take him at 1.9. And there's a big difference in why people say that I hate. Fortune said he misjudged me. I didn't see her. I think I might have saw part of that comment. So I'm just kidding. I don't even care that you went at me, Fortune. I won't even remember it tomorrow. I see so many things that I don't even remember crap. In one ear, it didn't even go in fully and bounce back out. So Fortune, you're good. What was I saying? Where do I have Jacobs? I have Jacobs in the top 11 to 13 overall, bro. One of the safest running backs to draft in that range. But Miles Sanders, I like him at 23, 25, 24. I don't know that I'd take him in every draft, though. Like, let's say Miles Sanders fell to 23 every single time I drafted. Let me put it this way so I can defend Noah, because Noah's probably going, wait a minute, I said you don't like Sanders at all. I would take Sanders in a couple leagues for sure at that value, 23, 24, 25. But I wouldn't take him in every draft. I would take Clyde Edwards-Helaire in every single draft I have if he fell to 13 or 14 overall right now. So that tells you how much I really love Sanders, which is not extreme. I like him. I like him at 23, 24. The risk is still there. And if you want the reasons, Noah keeps asking me, tell me the reasons, tell me the reasons. Tell him the reasons. Tell Nick what's his name? James. Tell James the reasons. Historically, Philly runs multiple running backs. That's number one. Number two, sample size is not that big of Sanders. He did well. You could say Drake's sample size wasn't big. I'm not arguing with you that Drake doesn't have some of the same risks. I just view the talent level different. I view the offense different. I view the coaching staff's evaluation and plans for that player different. But you have a very valid argument if you want to say, Smitty, you love Drake, but you don't love Sanders. How does that make sense? I will tell you, you have a strong argument. The only reason the argument doesn't hold up is because of my answer, which is I see the talent differently than you do, and that's a gut instinct thing. That's an eye test thing. There's no proof about that. But that's what I just said, James. You can say the same thing about Drake. Maybe he's injury prone. We don't really know. It's kind of unfair to tag him as injury prone, but there's that fear there. There's the fear there with Miles Sanders, and Miles Sanders got banged up. Drake got banged up. Arizona, you don't know if they're for sure committing to one running back, or they could rotate and put Edmonds in there. They've made some comments about Edmonds. You can argue that. But my evaluation is that the Cardinals traded for him for a reason. The Cardinals proved that they could commit to him. And in week 9 on, he was a top 4 running back, depending on your scoring. You could also argue that Sanders was very good in his short window, that they did kind of commit to him in that short window, and that his banged up situation is the same as Drake's. You have a case to be made. That's where opinions just are different. So I'm all with you if on the whole, like, there's a case to be made that Drake and Sanders are very, very similar, and it comes down to talent evaluation. I like Sanders a lot. I feel like the Eagles historically have not leaned on one running back, and I don't know that there are huge talent levels bleeding out of that running back room that scare me enough to think that they won't give the one running back a try this year. They probably will. That's why I would draft him at 18, 21, 22. But I'm not putting my whole fantasy football season on the line at 1.9. So it's very different if you ask me, do I like Sanders in 2020? My answer is no, because he's going at 1.9. Not because I don't like him. Not because I don't see Sanders doing well at 2.12 or 3.01. So that's my answer. And you may still think, I'm going to be wrong, blah, blah, blah. If Sanders tears it up, you're not going to hear me say, oh my God, I totally missed on this one. I like him at 18, 22. And I think the odds are, 3, like, just throwing random numbers out there because no one knows percentages for real. But like, if I had to guess, 3 or 4 out of 10% chance that, 30% chance that he will be leaned on and stay healthy and prove me wrong in terms of being 1.9 valuable. That's still a big percentage chance that I think he could do that. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I totally missed on that. I didn't. Like, you need to look at these things from that perspective. If you think I'm just against Sanders and I think he's just a bust and you're going to prove me, like, I get that comment all the time. Oh, you're going to prove you wrong. And what's even funnier is when someone comes in and I get something like that wrong and it was a player they liked, I could do your job because you miss Sanders. They picked one thing that they were focused on, laser locked, just completely. Miles Sanders, you got it wrong. I could do your job. Why am I not a fantasy analyst? There's a lot more that goes into this. I've been talking for an hour and 54 minutes straight without any kind of script or anything. There's more to it than just being right on Miles Sanders. So I apologize if I get that one wrong. But no, you're probably not getting a written apology from me or a, hey, I was dead wrong, you should have my job comment if I'm wrong on Sanders. Sorry. 1.9, if I had to put a damn random percentage on it, I'd say 30% chance of working out and getting your money back at 1.9. 30%. That's some of you might be like, I like that. Now, is he a total bust at 1.9? Let's say they give him enough work that he's still a top 15 running back. You're not going to necessarily lose your league if he doesn't have that kind of year. Like, you can still recover from that. But Jacobs is protected. Jacobs and Eckler are safer running backs at the turn. Why? Eckler's proven. Eckler's going to get more work than he did last year, sharing carries with Melvin Gordon. Eckler, unless he gets hurt, is protected into some amazing value. That's another thing I get. Invite me into your league. I'll kill you. Like, you want to know, and I'm not saying 50, you said that, it just reminded me. Look at Double A. Double A says 2 leagues, 2019, 2 titles, and add this to the pizza fund. Thank you, Double A. See, Double A appreciates me. I appreciate you, Double A. I can't wait till I get the studio. And our goal over the course of the year is going to be turning James Rowe into a believer into the show. Because, James, it's not all about being right and wrong. It's about being part of a community where we can all come together. And this goes for Purple, too. I wouldn't mind getting Purple on the positive side of the show. But this is a community where you can hang out and talk a lot about fantasy football. So you don't have to always agree with me. I'm wrong. I'm a human being. And just because I have a strong opinion about a player, you might have a different opinion on. Why the hell does that make you want to leave? What's for dinner tonight? I had leftovers from my lunch. But I do need to get a pizza pie tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a live stream. Thanks to a bunch of you that are super chatted, but definitely thanks most recently to Double A. This will give me my pizza pie tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll buy a pizza pie, do a live stream from Lou Molinati's for you, and we'll get it going. So Purple said I agree with you about Drake and Eckler already. Attaboy, Purple. Attaboy. Noah, come on. James is my league. I can't have him like you too. He's a little bit further away from being on board of the fantasy football show content. So don't worry, we got our work cut out for us, Noah. You got about a good season before we turn him into an avid fan of the show. It doesn't have to be of me, of the show, of the community, of the football talking environment that I try and create for you. Half of this show, I like to think I land a lot of stuff, and I bring people in because of the bold predictions that I do. But I feel like we keep it entertaining here. Half of the reason I feel like the show's been successful, and we've only been up for a year and a half, and we have 4,600 subscribers today, is because it's entertaining, because I try and keep it real with you. I don't hide my misses. I do things like my oopsie show. Get some wings too, Smitty. I might have to do wings and a pizza pie. I might have to do that. We can do. I'll tell you what, if we get 10 more bucks in super chats, I'll do another mock draft. I'll make it like a 5-round mock draft. Does Godwin improve, repeat, or decline? That's my other favorite approach. So from this wide receiver approach, if we were to go MT, Godwin, Evans, and Brady, and of course you're not taking Brady in sequence here. You're taking Mike Thomas first, you're taking Godwin in the second, you're taking Evans in the third, you're taking Brady in the 8th or 9th, you're taking Taylor, you're taking Mostert, you're taking Hunt. You might take AJ Brown as well instead of one of these running backs. So let's say you get AJ Brown because he does fall, or let's say you get DK Metcalf because he does fall as well, DK. Then you have yourself, I think, an elite team. This is an elite freaking team. Mike Thomas, Godwin, Evans, DK, Jonathan Taylor, and Mostert. We got $5 more, and we'll do another mock draft. We're halfway there. Here are the wings. Thank you, Tim. Tim's paying for the wings. Wings are on Tim. I'm doing it. I'm doing it tomorrow. And if we get another 5, I'm doing a mock draft. So if we get another $5, we'll do a mock draft. Joey, Honestly, only took my guys Smitty's advised about 25% of the time. The chats is where it's at. Smitty is engaging, makes a lot of good points, and have some laughs and brainstorm. I don't know if this is I'm trying to read what you're saying. I think you typoed on this a little bit. Advised about 25% of the time. The chats is where it's at. I don't know if that's Joey's underhand comment saying I'm only right 25% of the time. What? What, Joey? DK or Juju? I'm going DK, man. I don't blame anybody for disagreeing with me on that, but Chewy, I'm going DK, baby. I'm going DK. Taylor is a top 15. He could, and that's why I love this approach. Look at this approach. MT, Godwin, Evans, DK. Phenomenal. We got 70 people in the room. I'll do another mock if we get another $5 dono. That'll keep me up working. I'll stay up working. Clyde and Drake or Eckler, Schmitty. Give me Clyde and Eckler if I had to pick. Mock draft, says Jake. One more dono. Counselor is the worst fantasy football YouTuber of all time behind Sylvester. That sucks to rank right after that. Okay, Umberger says let's mock. Umberger, I gotta send you and Tim. Tim, are you on Instagram? DM me real quick, Tim. And Umberger, I'm gonna send you the link first. Sylvester. Umberger, get your Instagram ready to roll because I'm going to send you this link. Tim, DM me on IG, and I'll give you the link as well. Since you guys were super chatters, I want to make sure you get into this mock. I'm going to take the 1.1 because I'm lazy and I want my back-to-back so I don't have to focus and I can talk. That's one reason I do pick the 1.1 and 1.2 a lot, guys. It's because, A, I like it. I'm not going to lie. But it also allows me to do my picks back to back and then have a longer time to talk and not worry. So it kind of is like a preference for me because of that. I could care a little less about the actual result. I don't mind mocking from all over. And I'm the first to admit that I don't like some of my drafts from certain spots. And okay. So Umberger, I'm going to DM you the link right now. Umberger, hold on. Umberger. Bravo. Tim, I'm looking for your email, Tim, or your DM. Tim, there you are. Okay, Tim and Umberger, get in there. Get in there. Copy the link. Get down. We're going to draft. Thank you for the Super Esports Scout. Says I pick 9. Word on the street is Michael Thomas and Clyde. Slip to me. Jacob should also be there. Which would you go Clyde all day long? I even go Clyde over Mike Thomas, bro. Clyde at that value is very low risk. I think he can sleepwalk into that value. Number 9. Get it, boy. It's outstanding. Thank you for the super chat. Whoa. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so we've got Umberger, waiting on Umberger. Umberger, are you 23? Esports, DM me on IG real quick. You got to make it snappy, though. You got to make it snappy. Umberger, did you get the link? I think this is Umberger right here. I'm not positive, though. I got no link. Grovel. Let me email it to you. Okay, sent, Umberger. Check your email. Umberger's in. Okay, here we go. Dropping the link. Augie, you ready? I'm dropping it in here. Click it quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are full. Time to mock, baby. Is Augie in? I don't see you in there, Augie. Maybe you're one of these teams. I don't know. All right, let's begin the mock draft. It's time to mock it up. Start the draft. And that would put me on the clock. I'm going to roll. I've been going Barkley over and over and over, so I'm going to try McCaffrey out for size. See how that feels. Barkley going number 2. Elliott going number 3. Ramos on the clock as he takes Clyde boy. Attaboy Ramos putting his balls on the table. Alvin Kamara, good value there, Chris. Dalvin Cook going to 23. Jared on the clock. Good night, Smitty. I'll DM you later. Yep, appreciate you, man. Yeah, sorry, esports. Did you message? I didn't see esports come through, so I don't know if you have it under a different. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't see it, man. Maybe under a different name. I was looking for your esports. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. If you had another question, toss it out and I'll throw it on screen. Dalvin Cook, then it went at 1.7. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer, Schmidt at 1.8. Michael Thomas at 1.9. Austin Eckler, great value at 1.10. Don't listen to the noise and the haters about Eckler. Smitty Clown in again on mock. Smitty Clown in again on mock. What are you talking about, Kango? What are you saying, bro? Oh, sorry, esports. Adams and Drake at the turn. Big Jim, 1.1. 1.11 takes Mixon. Who does he pair with Joe Mixon? I'm interested in what the Mike Thomas team does because that is such a fun way right now to draft at that 1.9 and getting Thomas that late because then you can try that Hopkins Mike Thomas back to back and feel pretty good about it. I like it. Try Hopkins here. It's a mock draft. Try Hopkins here. See if you can build a team you like going Thomas and Hopkins. I want to see it. I like Mahomes. That's a good one too. Let's see if you can do that. That's good. Look at those running backs, though. I still don't know what you said, Kango. I asked earlier if I'm beating to the drum beat on this. I don't know if the delay, but doing the music live. Julio Hopkins. I like the Hopkins Cook combo there. That's pretty solid, bro. Jacobs and Chubb. Got one safe running back, one super. I mean, Chubb has as much upside as Jacobs. He just has more risk, in my opinion. So that's an interesting combo there. I like that. Kamara and Godwin, solid. Lamar and Clyde. I love it. That's such an exciting duo. Elliott and Aaron Jones. Probably not doing another mock after this, bro. I'm on the clock. I love the 1.1, dude. You're like set. You don't have to worry. Just look at running backs aren't there. But that's okay. I'll just head on over to wide receiver or tight end. And I think I'm going to go with Kenny Golladay. And then now I'm on the clock again. And I don't see any running backs alike. That's okay. I'm just going to march on over to the tight end position and take Mr. Travis Kelce. Walk in the park. It's so hard to screw up the 1.1. I mean, in the first 3 rounds. It can be done from round 4 on, believe me. I see it every day. But you gotta love that top 3. I mean, even in a perfect mock draft, and I consider ours more perfect than anywhere else because we're like-minded. We've gathered together. We all view things very similar. And looking at this draft unfold pretty much in unison with all of our thinkings. Maybe 1 or 2 players are off that I don't like. You know, like I don't like Aaron Jones in the top 25. So that isn't perfect to me in my mind, but that's me. But then you get to, you know, Kelce and Kittle, we've got wiggle room. I don't think you can hate your team at all or misfire or misstep in the 1.1, even in a perfect draft that unfolds exactly the way you didn't want it to because you wanted people to fall. You still get McCaffrey, Golladay, and Kelce. It's so easy to draft from the 1.1. And when Mahomes or Lamar fall to the 2.12 and 3.1, forget about it. Show them the possibilities, Smitty. I hear what you're saying now, Kango. Love the fact that I wake up in the middle of the night and Smitty is live. Jose, what do I look like? A guy that wouldn't be live constantly. How you feeling, Jose? This wood chair gets to me at times. I think I'm going to stand. Oh, let's see. I haven't stood from this area, actually. Ooh. A standing desk. My boy Jose, how you doing, Jose? Who do you think has a better season, McCaffrey or Saquon? Thank you, Jose. I think that Quan is going to be unreal, unworldly, alien-like in 2020. From another planet. I think everyone's going to be reminded that this is the 1.1. And I've said it before, and I have to keep saying it this way so that people don't think I'm saying one thing and then saying another. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you know how McCaffrey's the 1.1 consensus, but Barkley's going at 1.1 every like 5th or 6th draft? I think that's how Clyde's going to go. Let me kill the music. I think Clyde's going to go at the 1.1 on a rotational, like a every fifth or sixth draft rotation in 2021. I think Clyde's going to be that good in 2020 that he goes at 1.1 on a regular occasion. But I think Barkley walks into 2021 as the consensus, similar to McCaffrey is this year, typical consensus running back that gets drafted over and over, because I think Barkley's going to drop 15 TDs or more in 2020. Does that one guy with a name you couldn't pronounce still hang around? Oh, Seclan? Heck yeah, I can pronounce that in my sleep. I'm rolling around in bed and I go Seclan. Like I still practice that so I don't ever mess it up again. Seclan. Miss Smitty's like, who's Seclan? Who's Seclan? Smitty. Seclan. Seclan. For those that missed that, I couldn't say Seclan's name for a while, so I practiced it over and over. Now I say it in my sleep. Ertz, Waller, I'm on tight ends. I'm on the clock. Oh, that's loud.
This is
Oh, God. Stop. DK. I got to pick. Hold on. Hunt. We had a little misfire there. Oh, I'm going to time out if I'm not careful. I had to go Hunt. All right, where's my... The sounds are more important than the drafting. So I got McCaffrey, I got Golladay, I got Travis Kelce, I got Hunt. Loving this team. I only got 2 running backs that could go running back here. High DK though. This is where you insert after you make your selections. Whoa. This is where you insert the after you draft, like it feels like taking candy. But then you remember you're at the 1.1 where everyone can dominate, where everyone gets a second place trophy no matter what at the 1.1 and 1.2. I mean, McCaffrey, Golladay, Kelce, Hunt, DK. Yeah, Nugent, Hunt's going at, this isn't early. It depends on your drafting circle. Hunt's going in the 4th round in a lot of drafts. It depends on if you're drafting with grandma or with a bunch of people versed in football. Not ripping on your league or anything. It's a good thing, Nugent, if you're embedded in fantasy football and you know that Hunt's valuable and you know your league doesn't know that, then you wait and you clean up. But I like the value here, to be honest with you. I think that Hunt's easily worth, and that's typically it's like a 5th round pick, bro. Nugent. Hunt's at pick almost 5.1 there. Joey, Smitty, why are you so low on Mike Thomas? The guy's by far. I'm not low on him, bro. I just took him in a draft at the beginning of the show, and I just, like, if you rewind this about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, I show you how this Mike Thomas built team is one of my favorite teams to draft in 2020. So not sure what you mean, Joey. I'm not going to come at you hard on this, but there's no way I'm going to come at you hard on this. But I just did about 20, 30 minutes on how Mike Thomas, Hopkins, and Evans are literally one of my favorite ways to build a team right now. Just did like a 20-minute thing on that, bro. So, no harm, no foul. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. Done with love. Augie, you comfy with Hunt as your running back too. In that scenario, yeah. In that scenario, I am. Because I'm loaded, in my opinion. I mean, Galladay's a wide receiver 1 to me. You missed the whole old one? Nick?
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
Don't worry, baby. I got it. Oh, yeah. Nick.
Take a lap. 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 Take a lap.
I think it's because you told me to go CEH over MT, Scout. Oh. Yeah, but hey, Nick, or Joey. Sorry. Joey, go watch that. You'll enjoy it. If you like Mike Thomas, you'll enjoy the last. It was just when you go back, you'll see MT on the screen, and it'll say MT Godwin Evans or MT Hopkins. Watch that part. Because I talk about how it's one of my favorite things to do right now. So I do not hate Mike Thomas. Earlier in the offseason, I did go on a little bit of a rant for several weeks, maybe even a month or two, where I didn't like drafting any wide receiver in that Mike Thomas is the only wide receiver worth drafting in the first round still to me. But I went on a rampage about it's just safer to take Eckler or Chubb in the first round, but the way ADPs change all the time, so should your strategies. So I'm doing a lot of mocks and I see a change in shift, and I'm gonna like drafting the players differently as those things move around. The question is, am I comfortable with my running backs? So let's secure some running backs, shall we? Broskies. This team is lit. Look at the squad. McCaffrey, Galladay, Kelsey, Kareem Hunt, DK Metcalf, J.K. Dobbins, and Thomas Brady. I'm loving that squad. I'm taking that squad to the bank, baby. Yep. All right, I'm not going to do a long analysis of all these teams, but I'm going to skim it. So I'm going to put my team in the top 3. Surprise, surprise, right? Smitty, you always like your teams. We like what we like, right? Barkley, Evans, Kittle, Chark, Russell, Wilson, Marlon Mack. I don't like Kerryon Johnson, but Umberger, that's the best team I've seen you draft. Russell, like the thing I love about that Umberger is that are you still here, Umberger? You went Barkley, clear cut pick. Evans, I love Evans at 2.1 right now when you don't love the other options. And with this draft, it was thinning out quick. Like we're getting sniped all the way through, right? Evans, Kittle, you're dominating tight end. You have a top 5 wide receiver, in my opinion. I think that's how good Evans is going to be in 2020. You got the number 1 running back. You got a top 5 wide receiver. You got the number 2 tight end. You've got who I think will be an amazing wide receiver 1, even if it's the low caliber. He's going to dance really high up there in the top 5 sometimes and finish at least top 10, top 12. You have 2 top 10 wide receivers, 1's top 5. If you had gone different with Kerryon, you would have been like unstoppable, and I still think you're a top 3 team. I'm trying to see who was there when you picked Kerryon. Swift would have been better, I think, just more appeal. I don't know who else is left at this point because it doesn't show me, but I'd take Swift there instead of Kerryon, man. Swift has the potential to be it. I doubt Swift in some respects, but I love Swift in the 7th round. So in that scenario, even over Marlon Mack, I would have taken Swift in the 6th round. Pair Swift with Barkley, and bro, that team would be. I rank that team number 1 or tied with mine for number 1, but it's still top 3 without even looking at the other teams. That just because of, and then Russell Wilson's like your anchor, dude. Like to have literally no risk in the top 4, and instead of going with some other player that let me see, like I like McLaurin a ton. You guys know I love McLaurin. Keenan Allen, I like the value in the 5th round for sure. And I like Robert Woods there too. But Russell Wilson's like your anchor, bro. Yeah, but Swift, how injured is Swift though? How long is he out? Let me look up Swift and see if there's any updates. Swift? DeAndre? Yeah, I mean, he's sitting out right now. Slow start doesn't concern me too much. I didn't know if there was an update, so I was just checking before I went on a rant about it. Like, he tore his ACL right before the show, Smitty. He's just sitting out. He's resting, but he could get behind. I'm not saying don't draft Kerryon and Swift. That would be actually a good move. But, dude, that team is lit. I love it. Unberger. That's the way to draft. I don't like the whole thing you were doing at the beginning, bro, with the Mahomes and Kittle. I love Mahomes and Kittle, but you're taking them at 12 and 13. This is what you do, bro. This is where it's at. Elliott, Aaron Jones. Oh, but I love the Russell Wilson, too. It's the anchor of this team. You already have so much security and points locked in, and then you toss in Russell Wilson. I love it. It's fantastic. Elliott, Aaron Jones, DJ Moore, Ridley. It's good. It's good. Connor, Amari Cooper to pair with Lamar and Clyde. It's not bad. I love the start of it. I think if you had drafted like Jonathan Taylor, even though it's risky. Let's see. Imagine getting AJ Brown at like 4.9 instead of Amari Cooper. That could happen in a real draft. Just keep an eye on AJ Brown. He'll fall. He'll typically fall. Kamara, Godwin, Gurley, Singletary, Cam. It's got potential. I'm not going to put it in the top 5 though. 23 has Cook, Hopkins, Carson, Cooper Kupp. Not a big fan of Kupp and Carson, so to have them back to back as your 3rd and 4th drafted player, you're naturally not going to get a huge high ranking from me, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be right on that. Derrick Henry, Julio, Adam Thielen. I just feel like Thielen's too high in the 3rd for me. Not saying I hate him, not saying he's going to bust. Just I don't like him in the 3rd when you could get Jonathan Taylor. You could get Bell's kind of falling out of that range for me though. Odell, Juju, Mark Andrews, just safer guys. Even Kareem Hunt. I wouldn't take Kareem Hunt in the 4th round, but I think where Thielen's typically getting taken is in the 4th round. When I still see some of those guys there. Chark, I'd rather have Chark over Thielen, in my opinion, but I don't hate anybody's opinion that says otherwise. You can have your own opinion. It's okay. Jacobs, Chubb, Taylor, A-Rob, Kyler, Locke. Dude, Zach, I would have said that this team was going to be in trouble when you went Jonathan Taylor with your 3rd running back, and that doesn't always work out. The 3 running backs in a row, it's hard to do that. But A-Rob and Tyler Lockett are not bad wide receivers when you still have Kyler Murray and those running backs. That's an excellent job. I'd say top 5, bro. That's crazy. This team's pretty good here. Beta has Mike Thomas, Mahomes, so many points just right there. Lev Bell, if Lev Bell works out, you're walking into the top 3. If he doesn't, you're still doing well, but you got to get something out of Bell. Melvin Gordon, Mostert, Ingram. I love that team, man. He did an excellent job. Excellent job. Eckler, Hill, Beckham, Fournette. Still good value there in the 4th. Hollywood Brown, Waller, Swift, top 5. Love it. Whoops, I didn't mean to zoom in, but that might work out. I need to learn how to use this stupid mouse. Mixon, Sanders, 2 players in a row that I just don't love. Juju, AJ Brown, Watson, Ertz. I like it. Even not liking Mixon and Sanders at those high values, still a top 16 because I love you're going risky, but I love Watson at 5.11. I love AJ Brown at 4.2. I love Ertz at 6.2. And then that makes me comfortable with your risk that you're taking at 1.11 and your top, I'd say top 6 for sure. See, I can be honest and unbiased with my Joe Mixon and Miles Sanders takes. Adams, Drake, Andrews is a tad early, but that is a turn pick, so you technically took him in the 4th. David Johnson, rather have AJ Brown, bro. Rather have Melvin Gordon. Rather have A-Rob, Mark Ingram. So that's my eval of the squads. I've been live for 2 hours and 31 minutes. I think I'm going to pack it in. I appreciate everybody here. We still have 67 people in the room. It's hard to leave when we've got a chunk of people in here, but I do have to get rest, get my beauty sleep so I can get on over to the pizza joint tomorrow, do a live and eat my pizza pie and my wings in front of all of you that purchase them tonight through the super chatting, which I always appreciate. Don't forget that you can go to sleeperu.com and get your bold predictions for 2020. I just dropped 3 of them the other day for a grand total of, I believe in the redraft, there's 12 of them already up. I dropped just 12. I think I'm going to have 13 this year because I squeezed another one in. But my bold predictions are up at sleeperu.com. That's sleeper, the letter U, like a university. And don't forget to book me for your draft. I will draft with you over the phone for a full hour. You can use that hour however you want. You can do like 10, 15 minutes beforehand and then go 45 minutes into the draft. I've never left someone hanging at a crucial moment, even if we're right at the hour, so don't worry about that. Book me if you want me to draft with you at heysmitty.com. Get your bold predictions here. And of course, you can find me whenever you get lost at thefantasyfootballshow.com. That'll bring you right to this show. Thank you all. You guys rock. I appreciate every single one of you. Talk to you later.